Alright, this is a crazy thing. I'm looking up opals and I'm trying to figure out why they have those kind of crazy looking patterns in it. And I've always seen that they seem to be mollusks. They always seem to be like, clamshells and things. So I'm looking that up, and sure enough, I'm thinking, well, that makes sense. Those little patterns of the shells, they come in layers, and, it's going to get fossilized in these different layers, and maybe that's why. But why so many crazy colors? Then I start looking at where this is coming from. And Australia is drenched in blood. I'm telling you, it's drenched in blood. And you see that? That's a lung. That's the creature. That's a lung of a creature. I don't know what kind, but all of this is the vascularization of the lung. And this here, the outside of it, I guarantee you that is going to be the same looking stuff as the fascia in my mud fossils, because it's coated with fascia, and this is a lung. And there'll be a flap on there somewhere. I guarantee you I'll be able to find all the articulation that you'll find in the lungs that I have. Now, there's other things that create these nuts, they call them. And like this one here, that I'm almost certain is a boiled out bone. That's the hard part of the bone, the mineralized part, and the spongy part of the bone is gone. And now you have the crystallization exactly identical to what you have in geodes, because geodes are thermally boiled bones that have then become crystallized on the internal of the hole that's in the bone. When the spongy part gets boiled away, it leaves a void, and they call them vugs or voids or however you want to call them. Now, inside that lining is going to be metals, little metal seeds, and those little metal seeds are the result of the metals that in your blood do not go away as quickly as the organic material. It's called sublimation. The organic material sublimates off, let's say, at 1500 degrees. The metals stay. So they still line these little seeds in here. And that's why you get these crazy crystals inside of bones that boiled out. And I can show this on the geodes. They have what's called smectites, which is the vein. It's very, very obvious that they were bones at one time. And those metal seeds grow. And I'm going to show you what happens when metal seeds grow. Look at this. This here is when they put these metals in here, and he pushes them in, and then he gets them down in here. And by the time you get out here, and he opens this thing up and cracks it open, check this out.
I did this with a hacksaw.
Now, look at this. This guy is Night Hawken Light. Fabulous. Look at that. That is exactly identical to what happens in crystals that are formed inside of these geodes. However, he's laying more and more and more metals on there. What we would be laying on the original seeds would be percolated minerals. And because it's in Australia, which is drenched with blood, which is coming down from above, so these things died. There had to be gigantic creatures got slaughtered all over there somehow, and it's just gigantic amounts of blood, because blood is iron, and iron comes from blood, and that's what concentrates. And I can show you there's tubes of blood coming out of Australia that look like gigantic silos that are veins. Anyway, if inside of a geode with little tiny crystals, you'd start getting clear looking things, because the H2O and the OH minus and so forth gets down in there. They're more clear looking things, and you get these crystals. But these are metals. You don't have metals percolating down. They just don't do that. Anyway, that's how this thing works. And that's the deal. And the opals end up like this. And those are normally shells. And the shells take on, you can see the structure of the shells inside of the opals.